Greetings friends, and welcome to another video on my YouTube channel. Today we are going back to basics, and I just decided that it was time to record, or at least put in English, how to do something really basic, as it is creating a Windows 2022 template. I know that it has been announced not that long ago, but on my testing, Windows Server 2022, it's really fast. Plus, of course, it does include all the latest functionalities and all the latest capabilities, like for example, the latest REFS drivers, the latest Windows deduplication technologies, and so on and so forth. So I decided, why not just to do a video with you of how to create a really good template that you can reutilize later on your subsequent deployments of Windows for your environment. For example, you know that pretty much all the VM components and VM products, they are deployed on top of Microsoft Windows. So for example, VM backup and replication, for example, VM backup for Office 365. I think we are going to see on the next video Vim backup, Vim disaster recovery orchestrator as well. So I just decided to go and do a step backwards, try to do all of this with you step by step, slowly but surely, just to do not miss any of the steps. And to my surprise, some things have changed compared with Windows Server 2016, for example. So that was good to do it together. So we will see all of these nuances that we might have during the process. So if you like, let's jump now into the lab and let's take a quick look into what is what at all. So first thing that we will do, as you can imagine, it's create a new virtual machine, because of course before the template it just needs to be a virtual machine. And then with this virtual machine, let's put here the name Windows 2022 template. Let's save this under my folder called templates, and let's keep it on this host. It can be on the cluster as well if you want, so this is completely more up to you. Just remember that if you just put it in one of the hosts and then this host is down, then you cannot find this template later on. You need to re-import it. So much better on the cluster, Windows Server 2022. So I can see it here. I'm running vSphere 7.0 update 3, update 3A to be more precise. So okay, here is one functionality that you can enable or not, and it's just to enable the Windows virtualization based security. I'm not going to enable it, but for more hardened deployments, probably it's a good idea to deploy. Let's take a quick look into the hard disk. It says 90 gigs, and in terms of the controller, we need to go here into the controller, expand it. We cannot delete it, as you can see, so we need to expand it and change it into VMware Paravirtual. And then on the management network or on the network, really change it to VMS NEC 3. So those two things are quite important. USB controller, I don't really need a new USB controller. On security devices, SGX is for AMD, so I just have Intel on this specific host or cluster. And then in other, it has PCI and ID and so on, but I don't really need them, but I cannot delete them, at least from here. So in terms of CPU and memory, we can always enable the hot plug if you want. So in the case that you want later on to change resources on the fly, you can do it. This is tied to the Windows version that you have. So just bear in mind that if you do not have enough the license, I think it's probably data center edition, you cannot do this on the fly. Oh, well, anyways, I'll just enable it because it's a good stuff for the template. So what else in terms of the remote console options? Why not try to secure this? So lock the guest operating system while the last user disconnects. And maybe I do not need 40 sessions really, so probably one session connected to the remote console, it's more than enough. So I do not have two users at the same time doing stuff on the console, so that's great. Power management, this is fine. On VMware tools, that's fine. And finally, on boot options, it's already EFI, which is recommended of course for 2022, and probably nothing else. Let me see, nothing on here. I don't want to enable latency sensitivity, so that's fine. Let's click next and let's click finish. Now we have our template, at least the basics, the hardware created, and it's there. It's ready. So now we need to attach the ISOs. We could have done it before, but well, anyways. So let's do it now. From here, edit settings, and from here we can add the ISO of Windows Server 2022 on here. So I explore into my ISOs over here, and I go to Microsoft 2022. I just download it from the website, and then you can always add another one if you want with the VMware tools. This was needed before in order to load the paravirtual SCSI driver for Windows Server 2016, but it's not needed anymore. The paravirtual SCSI driver, it came already in Windows Server 2022. But well, anyways, let's load the ISO just in case that we will have any problem later on while we're installing. And if not, once everything is installed, we can just run the VMware tools installation from there. So that's not a big problem anyways to attach 2 DVD drives at the moment. Let's put it up. Okay, let's enter here. Let's click Control Alt so that message disappears. Okay, good. And now the installation kind of wizard, it will load here. So one thing that I wanted to mention once again is that Windows Server 2022, it really flies. Even the installation, it's much fast, as you will see, much faster as you will see. And later on, it's just a breath of fresh air. How it works itself virtualized. Okay, let's click here. I usually tend to select the US keyboard and everything like in United States. So click install now. And from here, let's take a look. It's nothing difficult. It's the usual Windows installation. Now, what I tend to do is just install either the standard or the data center, but with the desktop experience. I accept the EULA, and then I just click here on custom. And as you can see, I can see the 90 gigs presented here without the need of adding a driver, the paravirtual SCSI driver, which is really good news. Because you don't need to add extra driver and complexity and be a bit scared that the driver might not be compatible and so on. So try to use paravirtual SCSI, try to use VMX NEC 3. Take a look into the internet if you do not trust my advice here. The performance for heavy utilized VMs, is much better. If you use VMS NEC 3 and paravirtual SCSI, the VMs will perform better. They are specific drivers, specific ways of the best way of virtualizing, of abstracting those physical resources into virtual machines. It's paravirtual SCSI, and it is as well VMS NEC 3. They were purpose-built for this purpose, so just utilize them and take a look into the KVs of Microsoft or of VMware, and take a look as well into the communities of VMware. There are a lot of discussions around this, and it has been agreed as a best practice. On the few web papers, you can see that from VMware, those two are quite important. So I'm trying to teach you today how to build pretty much like a really nice, perfect template for Microsoft Windows 2022. Okay, so this is the initial boot, which once again, for me, is not taking that much. It took more time before. So now what we will do here, is just put our password 2 times for the local admin. And now what we will do is just we go inside with the Control Alt Deal, delete. So okay, let's go directly from here, and let's start to optimize a bit the this template, because of course we need to run a few stuff before, few things before we convert this into template. So now that we have our VM here, as you can see, everything loads really fast. Already detected the network, and it's already asking me if I trust on that domain. And now, as I told you, because we have connected the VMware Tools ISO, we'll find it here, and if not, it's as simple as just go into the VM and then just install VMware Tools. It can be installed either as well, kind of like in silent mode, and you will not even need to do any of this manually. But anyways, let's take a quick look, because a couple of things I wanted to mention here on the custom. For example, I do not think I'm going to use carbon black, for example, so I will remove that. And then the time provider, probably that's a good idea to install. Why not? So I'm going to do it. And then app defense, no. NSX, no for now. The other components, I guess they're fine. I do not need to share folders between the VM and the hosts. So SGVA driver and all of those are quite okay. PS2 mouse driver, I guess I will not have any PS2. So we're installing things that they're really legacy, but they're not big. So let's go here into next. Let's click into install, and this should install all of the needed components. If you do remember correctly, Microsoft Windows, since version 2000, probably 16 latest updates, and 2019 and above, it already gives you the drivers for the VMware itself. So the network, it's automatically updated from the Windows updates, the other drivers from VMware. Let's not reboot just yet, because I wanted to take a look into the device manager to see that we do not have any COM ports or something that is extremely old. I don't think so. So let's click here, restart. Maybe we can expand that later on, because of course we have just installed the VMware tools, so some driver might not be still there, or some device. Okay. So the reboot, as you can see, it has been seconds. I have not accelerated anything just yet. Later on might be, but now it's that reboot, it was real. So I'm really happy that this is just flying the Windows Server 2022. So okay. Usually the server manager is what it takes most time, as you know, and in this case it's still going really, really fast. Let's expand this now. Okay, SGVA. I cannot expand them all together right now. Okay, the DVD, 2 DVDs, the IDE, keyboards, monitors, print queues, storage controllers, and system devices. Or system devices, I have a lot of stuff here, but I guess I cannot delete any, although some of them, they are a bit old, like system speaker. I don't know, system speaker here. Or anyways. Okay, that's good. Nothing to optimize there. Let's go into the local server as per usual. And one of my favorite options is to remove the Internet Explorer Enhanced Security configuration. At least for the administrators, please put that on off. And the next one, it can be remote desktop, although you can enable it from a few different places. I tend to do it directly from here, from the properties of the PC. Let me see if I can go. I think I'm already there on this PC. I think the properties are now the new ones. Yeah, okay. So the properties are these new ones. They are not the old properties anymore. So I'm going to remove desktop. I enable it. I click confirm, and then what I just go here, it's okay. It has the security enabled with network level authentication. I'm not going to disable network level authentication. That's secure enough for me. And the port 3389, that's fine as well. Once again, just try to protect that later on a real environment, disabling firewall, changing the port, do whatever you need to do later on. Let's check for the updates, if there are any, which I think they might be, a few of them. There you go. So we will even have a cumulative update for Microsoft and for the .NET and so on. So I just accelerated the process. It took me around 10-15 minutes to download and install everything. Now I'm restarting the server with all the updates that have been installed already. I accelerated the boot of this because this took a bit more time. Of course, it was after the update, so it always takes more time to apply all the changes. But now I think we are really close to call this a good template already. If you have any antivirus, this will be the moment to install that antivirus. If you have any other management product, like a SCOM or something, that's a good moment as well to install it, the agent, and so on and so forth. Let's change the time here and let's select our time zone. My time zone is this one. Dublin, Edinburgh, Lisbon, London. So I'll click that. That's fine for 4:44 p.m. on here. And then finally, if I go on, if I go now to the update, just to check if there are any more updates, I guess that what is going to tell me is that there are not more updates on here, because I already installed all of them. But you never know, sometimes you install a cumulative update and then you need to install another one, or sometimes just maybe like an antivirus. Okay, some antivirus, as you can see, more updates, but they do not need any reboot or anything. So I think this will be downloading and installing quite quick. What is this? The security intelligence update, and is the update for Microsoft Defender antivirus for the malware part. Okay, that's fine. Nothing that critical, as I've mentioned. So we just let it there, and soon this will be installed and ready. So once again, if you have like a WSU, something similar like that to manage all the updates, well, much better. If that's the case, maybe on this template you will need already to configure, to point to that WSUs and so on. So please, once again, just try to make this template works the best for you with whatever you will need later on. So finally, what we can do here is just open the run, do a Sysprep, and then on the Sysprep, select the out-of-the-box experience. Well, let's take a quick look, because before it happened to me before. The RDP was not enabled. So let's try with the 1228. And let's take a look if with the administrator and the password I can log in. It happened to me before, and it's a pain because I keep deploying VMs after VMs. I always need to go there and enable the RDP, which is a pain. Okay, that's fine, it's working. So this image to me, to my hardening level, that I have not done much on hardening level, this is okay for me. I click on generalize, and then on the shutdown options I can always reboot or shut it down, but I will reboot because, as you will see, it will do a few reboots and it will prepare the VM and let it fresh and install, just ready to deploy more and more VMs from this template. So let's wait for the reboot. Okay, that's rebooting, and as you can see here, I accelerated the process just a bit because it did a few of these devices ready, a reboot, then another reboot, just to trying to prepare the server to how it should be, just for you to consider this as a good template. So let's see if it's finally asking us for the language and everything. I think it's almost ready. There you go. This template is ready. This VM is ready just to start deploying more and more from them. So let's click shutdown guest, and directly from here, what we can do, it's we just close the console. We do not need the console anymore. And then what we will do, we can go into our virtual machines view on vCenter, which is here, and then under my folder called templates. In this case, you can always add your versioning, your nodes, whatever you really want. In this case, I select template, convert to template, and then just click yes. Another good practice will be to remove the DVD drives if you want, but well, in any case, they are disconnected anyways. And from here, we can now trigger as many VMs as we need, and I will use it for the next VMs that I will keep deploying, as you will see me doing, for example, from Vim Disaster Recovery Orchestrator version 5 and some other new products that we will do our reviews on that. So I know it's, once again, really basic. There are a lot of other ton of things that you can do in terms of hardening. It was good to see that there are not that many things that you need to do in terms of hardware removal, because before on previous versions or in previous VM templates, because it was more VMware, there were a lot of other things like IDE, like COM ports, and like printer. I mean, there were so many old stuff that we needed to remove in order to have a good template. But now with Windows Server 2022, that template that VMware has, it's really clean. The operating system performs extremely well on top of VMware, and maybe it's the VMS NEC 3 plus the Paravirtual SCSI as well, accelerating everything, but it's really fast. So without any further ado, I hope you enjoyed the video. If that's so, please hit the like button, maybe leave some comments, maybe some tips, maybe some tricks, something that I forgot. I will always be happy to take a quick look, maybe add it to the next video, or maybe even add it into the blog post. So thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye.